it's going to make a tough trip for the truck drivers more than anything else, come, leaving here, when we do leave here, to go home and make a swap in, how many hours will that take? And you got to make sure that you're planned well enough that, your truck drivers can get there in the amount of time that's out there. It's a long ways, so we'll see, but we should be all right.
Other questions for Bobby in the back? Go ahead, Bob.
Bob Hawk, RacingDaily.com. I mean, obviously, you're used to having races being postponed because of rain, but when it's the Daytona 500, is it any different?
I went through a spell there. Every time we had a race that was delayed or delayed for hours or delayed for a day, I seemed like I won. I won a few of those, so this is all right by me if it turns out the same. So I'll be fine with that. But, yeah, I mean, last year we had some, Watkins Glen and a couple others as well. But, yeah, I mean, it's the fans. I was talking to a friend of ours at the motorhome before I come over here, and Butch's girlfriend said that she had some friends from up in North Carolina towards the mountains that came down here for the race, and all the people that come for the race, all the fans that have been here, had beautiful weather for 11 days basically almost, and then today's not the best day, but so I hate it for that. I mean, I hate it for the fans, but we all and you guys get to suffer through it too another night as far as thinking we're going to get out of here, but unfortunately we can't do nothing about it, and wish we could, but we're all prepared to go and hopefully race tomorrow.
Go ahead, Mike. Bringing your mic right now.
Yeah, Mike Mullen. Can you explain the side draft a little bit?
Can you say that slower? I didn't
Mike
Mullen.
MikeMullen.net.
Okay, I'm going to write that down.
Yes. Good advertising space is still available.
Yes.
On everybody's car, too, I know. The side draft here seems to be a little different this year than it was last year. A lot of the guys say they can actually, with one car, break up a two-car tandem. Can you explain a little bit about what's going on in that deal?
Yeah, you can, I know in the 150s especially we noticed it. And, I mean, it's like it used to be to a certain extent. But, one car can, when the first car goes by you, like on the inside, say, for instance, and you get your left front fender to his right rear quarter panel, it takes air out of his cowl, I'd say, that we think happens, and it slows him down, or it might slow that guy down, or it might slow the second car down. So there is a way that we can move around and move our cars closer together to pick up some speed and kind of get a slingshot effect, and then the same way will happen if they're going by you. It kind of slows them down. It kind of anchors you down. So we saw that in the nationwide race yesterday when Kurt and Kyle were drafting, and I don't know, Joey and somebody were going by them. It might have been Ricky, I guess, or Trevor, but yeah, it broke them up. And we obviously, with the spoiler package. With a few of the things that they've got, it didn't have it much last year to a certain extent because you're going a lot faster. Now you're not going as fast. Kind of got back to where it was a few years ago, like that in the old pack racing. But yeah, I mean, it definitely it plays an effect, and you have to have a really head of steam to get by a guy. And if you don't clear him, it'll really bog you down. And then you can have a guy with two cars, you can mess them up as well as far as their tandem, if they're tandem hooked up at that point in time. So kind of like it used to be. So not much different than that. So I'm more used to that anyway.
Over here to Kim, please, if we could get her a mic. Thank you.
Kim Robertson, Insider Racing News. One of the things that's happened a lot in the last week are the crashes that we've been seeing, and they've been pretty spectacular. Can you talk a little bit about your thoughts on the safety issues with the revised pack racing and how it seems like it doesn't matter whether it's tandem racing like we saw yesterday or pack racing. There have just been a lot of really hard hits this week.
Yeah, I don't, thank God for soft walls. Say that. I mean, I'm sure Danica can appreciate that as well, but all of them have. And, I mean, pack racing is going to lead to that. I mean, we've seen more pack racing. And yesterday when they were tandem racing, I mean, it got to tandem racing. Oh, by the way, now it's a pack all of a sudden. And when you mix all those together, it's just like, it's pretty much, can be chaos. So, Daytona's Daytona. And I mean, it's narrower than Talladega, and, the asphalt's still really good. So everybody's really confident, and the car's going to grip really good. And all of them, for the most part, take part at the last, 20 miles of the race, and so you spend most of the day getting your car, or feeling confident about what you can do, and then you use it to what you think you can do, and then you can't do it sometimes. So, it's just a product of the racing that we have, and whether it was two-car tandem or whatever. I mean, I've been coming here for a long time, and I remember looking in the mirror at seeing guys go backwards behind me, and at Daytona being caught up in a big nationwide wreck in lap 3 or 4. So I mean, it just is part of the the product of restrictor plate racing that we've seen for the years. But unfortunately, the past week has been a lot of carnage, and I hate that for all the car owners out there. And I text Tad last night. I said, "Ooh, it's a good thing we don't own a nationwide car or anything, because that we probably would get caught up in something." But I mean, it's just unfortunate that it's that way. But it's just a product of Daytona, and Daytona is Daytona. That's why we come down here, because we want to be the guy. Last year, there was 3 or 4 wrecks I missed at the end, and I'm there at the end. Trevor Bain, and guys like that. So that's just part of the part of our part of the racing that we do, whether we're pack racing or tandem racing. But pack racing definitely has a place for it right there to make you crash.
Bobby, thank you so much, and good luck tomorrow when we drop the green flag.
What time was that again? Make sure I'll put that in my calendar.
12:01.
Okay.
Don't be late.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Your 20th Daytona 500.
I heard you say that. I don't remember that.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget, I raced my go-kart here one time, too. Not like Jamie McMurray on the big track. So.
Okay. Thank you.